Happy 15th day since Juneteenth. Happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of you a damn lie. Yeah, ain't nothing to celebrate today. It's Thursday. I'm celebrating the day off. Peace, Leisha. Come on up, send a request. No isms or phobias. No isms or phobias. Come on up, send a request. I am gainfully employed to any white teeth thin lip person that wants to try to put the black men are unemployed stereotype on me. I don't know, something happened to the live just now. I'm not sure what that was, Leisha. It happened to some people because the number dropped sharply. Happy 4th of you lie. You a damn lie. We're gonna let somebody up here come on and talk to us.
So what's up, man? So I'm sitting here listening to the live.
Justin, we can't hear you,
Hello?
Justin. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you. Give us your age, race, and pronouns.
I am 36, white, and I'm a man. I don't. He, him. Is that what my pronouns are? I suppose.
That's right. Give
I
us.
don't really. I
Right,
don't really. But so I mean, so what is? Are interracial relationships harmful to the black community? So are you against? Are you against interracial relationships, or
Would you have a problem if I was?
It's your discussion. I'm asking.
I'm asking the questions in this conversation.
Okay. No, because I mean, again, I grew up in a very rural area, and it's been frowned upon. I mean, I've seen it frowned upon a lot growing up. But at the end of the day, we're all God's children. So who we fall in love with and who we're destined to be in love with doesn't do harm to anybody.
Did you tell that to the people in your area?
If I wanted to date some person who wasn't the same color as me, I absolutely would.
Oh, so you only do it when it affects you personally?
Or okay, if my friends or if someone was picking on someone because they were dating someone of a different color, I would stand up for them as well.
So you only have this type of rhetoric when you can be the savior?
What does that mean? It's answering the question. It's not about being a savior. It's my opinion.
But you said that people in your area were against interracial marriage. What did you say when you found out?
I'm not talking of a certain instance. I'm saying I've seen instances of it before.
And what did you
And
do in those
though,
instances?
I mean, I've not to every single one have I ever even been a part of the conversation, obviously. But I mean, I have stood up for the fact before of even people joking about it, like even making joke, like they weren't like out to cause harm, but they were still making harmful jokes about it. And I was like, hey, that's that person's choice. If they want to do that and that makes them happy, let them do that. But is transracial adoption ethical? No, because if I'm being frank with you, uh, the fatherhood in the black community is very questionable to say the least. And I'm just
Why
being
do you say
100%
that?
honest with you. So no, I don't think.
Why
I
do you
think
say it's
fatherhood in
questionable?
general, and single motherhood, and dads leaving their children, it's bad everywhere, but it is very questionable in the black community.
Why do you say that?
Just look at the rates.
The rates say that white men are least likely to be fathers in the home.
That's not true at all, sir. I,
No,
I
it's
can I can send you actual number facts that says that's a lie.
Black is beautiful.
Word.
Could you talk to this honky while I go find the facts for
Oh,
and put it
oh,
up on the
I'm so
Did
screen?
you just
sorry.
hold on,
I
sir?
don't
Hold on.
I don't
Did you just call me a honky?
Sir, don't do that. You know that there have been establishments called honky tonks, so please don't act like you're fake outraged. Please.
harmful is the key word I key in with. I mean, I don't know. I've never known a relationship of some type of love to be harmful.
Sir,
In
please. I was talking to Justin. Hold on a second, okay?
All right, I'm back.
Alright.
All right,
He
so
tried to use that fake outrage on me, talking about, did you just call me a honky? Sir, there's establishments called honky tonks.
yeah,
Please.
but a higher percentage of black fathers, 27%, took their children to or from everyday activities compared to white fathers, only 20%. Black fathers, 41% in the home, were also more likely to help their children with homework every day compared to Hispanic, 29%, and white fathers at 28. So we're almost double the fathers y'all are. So I'm still confused. What makes you feel in reality like black fatherhood is questionable?
I'm gonna say this though, but like you want to sit there, like, why would you call me a honky? Because if I called you the other thing, oh God, he's
No, I wouldn't.
racist,
No, I
etc.
wouldn't. No, I
Outrage.
wouldn't. Wait, hold on. Black is beautiful. No, I wouldn't. Go ahead, call me that.
I don't want to call you that because I'm not an idiot.
Then why'd you just fantasize about it?
I'm just telling you because you all want to play victim on here, obviously, and say,
it's
hey,
crimes committed behind that word, sir.
He gone. Thank y'all
I
for the
could have
Panther
sworn he
clause.
was. Wasn't
Shout
he
out.
just playing victim?
Yeah.
He just playing.
It's
Okay.
all right. We ain't surprised black is beautiful. That's regular. That's how they are. Thank you, Sister Stella. We already know what that is. Dang, man. What's
Guess
going
what?
on, sister?
I started listening to this book called White Tears, Black Brown Scars.
Mm,
Oh my God.
mm, mm.
The history between white tea women, black women, and non-white women
Mm.
and white tea men is disgusting. Whoo, Jesus.
Yeah.
Made my stomach hurt. Especially
Mm.
with the Aboriginals in Australia. Oh my
Mhm.
God. Whoo. No pink people for me, for real. For real. No. After what I just heard, nope.
Mm, mm, mm.
Mm-mm. But it's interesting. But it's very shocking to my spirit when I was listening to this on the Audible. Ooh.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. The more work you do, the more you learn to unpack, the more you see how important it is to love yourself and to stop trying to love your enemy. You know,
Yes.
yeah. And that's the thing. Without this history being taught, we sound extreme. Being logical sounds extreme. Like y'all are extreme. Like nah, it's there's too much data. Like we some of us gotta still learn, but some of us are past that learning where we already acting on the facts. Like we just here now. Like you know.
Now I see where the sense of entitlement comes from because these men care more about their reputation than they cared for black women, non any other woman of color, and they would literally fetishize us. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it was so nasty, and then try to point the finger at other people to hide their fetish.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
what they used to do with their children that they had with enslaved women, they would try to conform them to whiteness. Whoo,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Whoo, man.
And you
I had to
see,
stop. I was like, yep, that was enough for today.
and you see how they try to pretend to be neutral and they try to pretend to be nice when they first get on the panel. And then it was so easy. It took me how long? A few seconds to just Google black
Yeah, they
fatherhood
called them a
statistics.
honky.
Like
Right.
all I did was
You
type
literally
in
got
black
the conversation.
fatherhood
Did you call me
statistics.
a honky? Like, oh, God.
All I had to do was put black fatherhood statistics in Google. That was it. And it came right up. Like
But that's the thing. They the words that they have been saying to us and been weaponizing against us for over 400 plus years, it has not changed.
hmm
It has not changed. They have been saying the same stuff. I'm like,
hmm
ooh.
Yeah. And
And
everything.
you would think, because they would always say, oh, well, it wasn't us that are perpetuating this stuff on you guys. Well, y'all are relatives of them, and you guys have not changed since 400 plus years ago. Y'all still is just as nasty as y'all can be.
hmm Yeah.
So I'd be wondering about these interracial relationships, because there was one part where the enslaved black women, they said that they would suffer with sexual abuse from the YT men, and then because of the YT woman is submissive to the white man, she would take it out on the enslaved, the women. They would
hmm
use their own victimization against them like they do now.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, our ancestors really suffered a whole bunch and they didn't have no way out. Like, whew, like that's why I, you know, act a certain way around white tea women, because look what y'all used to do. Y'all would get mad at your husband and take it out on us because you couldn't take it out on your husband.
hmm
Ooh, it's so deep.
Hello.
Hi, Maria. Give us
Oh,
your age, race, and pronoun.
Maria, she was on my panel. She's
I
rude.
was I was on your panel and I just wanted to
Give us
apologise
your
for my
age, race, and
behaviour.
pronouns, please.
Can I just quickly apologise to the lady because she
No, give us your age, race, and
oh,
pronouns first. Then you can say whatever
okay.
you want.
Wait, what do I need to give you?
Your
Sorry.
age,
Yeah. And what else? Pronouns.
yes, age, race, and pronouns.
So I just turned 18. Yeah. And my pronouns are she her.
And I also asked for your race.
Oh, I'm white.
I said it nice and slow. Okay, there we go. Now
I
tell
just
us.
wanted to apologise for my behaviour. That I was like a bit of a brat on her panel because I did unmute myself 3 times. I just wanted to apologise to her.
Ma'am, your apology is so disingenuous. The things that you were saying on my panel. Who Jesus? Mm-mm.
You want me
I'm
to?
sorry.
What did
You
I
gotta
say on your
stop.
panel?
Okay, hold on. Before this becomes the White Tears show, could you answer the questions that we have up here, or Is that all you came up here to say?
Yeah, that's really all I can't. Yeah, but I
All
don't
right.
understand how I was being a brat.
I really don't care. On to the next guest. Oh, that person left. Anyone that comes up here, please come up here to answer the questions. I don't care what happened on other panels.
That's weird how she just kind of followed me in here. That's so weird.
Listen, you know what it is. I'm telling you, it's not weird. We gotta stop asking what, like, I don't know why this is happening. I'm telling you, it's because they they have been acting the same way. So they're gonna try to follow you and make themselves seem like the victim because you speak in truth to power. That's it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This book is really opening my eyes, and the more books I read, I even started the 1619 project. And man, I think I forgot what the guy was named, but I think the person who created the Declaration of Independence or whatever, who was his slave that he brought with him when he was writing that? Do you know who that is?
I don't know the name.
Well, while he was writing that, he had a slave with him. I'm like, how are you going to declare independence, but it
Yeah,
wasn't for us?
yeah,
But
Thomas
sorry.
Jefferson. He had a very problematic past with our wording, our sisters as well. Well, certain sister. But Lala, why you got white women as your avatars?
Sir,
It lets me into is so I can cuss out white people.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm
They
like,
let me in their
like the
room.
third profile I've seen where you got a white woman. What you trying to do?
There's a method behind my madness.
All right,
yeah,
man. You be safe
because
out
they
here
be
messing.
going
You be
off.
safe out here messing with them folk because they got a certain power and privilege that you don't have. They will
Yep,
find
I
your.
got
I know, but
threatened.
if they think that I'm white, then they let me in there, and then I boom turn on the camera. Ha! Made you look,
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous game.
Yeah, Brother
But
Legend, I got
yeah,
threatened. I got my life threatened through a message
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta be careful. Y'all gotta be
because
careful.
on
I
my
ain't
life
scared of them.
muted the
You need to
person
be scared of
who was
them. It's
disrespectful.
it's intelligent to be
I'm
scared of
not.
them.
I'm not
You should be
bro,
afraid of them.
bro. Like real talk. I'm not afraid of these people.
That's the problem.
I live in
I'm scared.
Alabama.
I'm
You're
sorry. I'm
I
supposed to
scared.
live.
be
Hold on,
afraid.
hold on, hold on. T. I live in Alabama. I I've lived with these people my entire life, almost 31 years. I'll be
Yeah.
31 on the 19th,
Then why are
right?
you not afraid of
So
them?
I've lived with these people. I know how they move. I know how they get down. I know exactly. But you can't bully me. You not about to be able to do nothing to me. Cause they didn't stop making pum pums when they made yours. Amen.
Nah,
I'm not like
that's. I hear you, and I know you
I'm
don't.
I'm
I
I
know you think
I
you're gonna
understand
stand
what
on
you're saying,
business in
bro.
the face of white supremacy, but I'll tell you right now, as a black woman, you are unprotected. That is dangerous. But I mean, you having fun on the internet, and I know it might not catch up to you. So I think if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna troll them, then troll them online. I get it, but that's it's I speak constantly every day about how dangerous these folks are. I'd be remiss to sit here and encourage you trolling and playing with them. But let me go to the next guest real quick. Off the block, Scott, give us your age, race, and pronouns.
Can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on? Give us your
Yeah,
age,
I'm
race, and
uh
pronouns.
I'm a black man. I'm 54 and he, him. It's my pronouns.
All
So
right, talk to
my
us.
answer to the question, are interracial relationships harmful to the black community? Uh general, generally speaking, no, they can be. It just depends on the people that are in the interracial relationship, their level of of understanding of education, and, where they are as a person. I personally have an interracial daughter. My daughter's mother is Japanese and German. Um, Now, so is transracial adoption ethical? Yeah, if it's versus a child having uh, parents, adopted parents of a different race versus them not having any parents at all is better. But obviously, everything is nuanced. You got to vet the parents, whoever the parents are, who are adopting these children. And that goes both ways. I know some black families that have adopted some white children. I know some white people that have adopted some black or non-white children. So that that's my stance on it. It's all. I think I subscribe to the Public Enemy "Fear of a Black Planet" thing. I'm sure you heard the album. Black man, black woman, black
Man,
baby.
don't talk all that pro-black mess, and you just said what you just said. Don't do that to me. Please don't play in my face.
Right.
What you mean? How am I not pro-black because I have a daughter that's mother is Japanese
Because the stuff
and
you just said are problematic. Everything you just said.
what's problematic
Tell me
about it,
that
sir?
you don't have your consciousness. Do you know what black consciousness is?
Yes, I do.
Then define it for me, please.
Black consciousness is knowing who you are as a black person, knowing your history, knowing what your ancestors dealt with, knowing what they did, how they.
All right. Hey, man, some of y'all brothers, y'all need to stay in them comments. Thank you, Sister Black is Beautiful. Thank you, Sister Stella. And I think somebody else. No, it was Black is Beautiful. Thank you to both of my beautiful sisters for sending those panther paws through. You know what I'm saying? He had it deep, obviously. He's a compromised individual because if he were to be lock and step with the black community, that means that he would also have to remember the comfortability of his baby mother. So that's someone that's compromised. Third man was about to load up. Yeah. All right. Asian and white. Right. Yeah, that was some nonsense. Let's go to the next guest. Clovis, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Age 27, race black. How's it be him?
All right, talk to us.
All right, so I mean, I saw the prompt, felt like answering it, especially being someone who's affected by some of these things. So first one, are interracial relationships harmful to the black community? They can be. Like, I'm not gonna say they always are. I mean, I'm the product of one of those relationships. My mom was black, my dad was originally from Italy.
We're not talking about
Right.
individuals. I just want to remind everybody that's listening, we're talking about the idea of interracial relationships, not just individual interracial relationships.
Okay, yeah. So when you talk about the idea, when people do that from an anti-black mindset, in other words, things like where there becomes this culture that rises up where people start to hate their own features, they start to hate black features, they start to love YT features, they start to want their kids. There's a big thing where people want their kids to have blue eyes and blonde hair, and they want their kids to have more features associated with YT people. That is indeed harmful. 100%.
Sir, you know that the black woman can create a blonde hair, blue eyed
I'm
child,
aware.
right?
I'm aware.
Okay.
I'm aware.
Sir.
However, when I'm talking about when people specifically seek out YT people in order to achieve those features.
But
So,
you can have a monoracially black man and still have a blonde hair, blue eyed child. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I get that. I understand that. But are we going to pretend as though there is not an ignorant subgroup who believes, who goes out and actively seeks people outside of their own race so that they can try and have kids with these particular features?
They seek us out, sir. They seek us out.
I
Go
don't think
read
that
the
you get what
history
he's saying.
of the black woman and the white T man and the white T woman. you will see that they be seeking us out.
Are you saying that people like black men or black women seek out YT people so they can have that aesthetic? Is that what you're saying?
There are some that do. That's what I'm saying. There are some that do because of
Oh, okay.
internalized hatred,
Oh, okay. Okay.
because of internalized anti-blackness. They seek that out. Yes, there are some who do.
So
Um,
how do you have pro-black interracial relationships? Because you said anti-black is where it's problematic. So understanding the predicament of our people and black oppression,
mhm.
how do you progress towards liberation in an interracial relationship? Because if we're not liberating ourselves, that means we're complicit in oppression, which would be anti-black. So the only way to counter that would be to be pro-black and build within our community. How would we do that in an interracial relationship?
So one, I mean, you're talking about people and people choosing who it is that they, end up being with for whatever reasons that they choose to end up being with them, right? Um, I think when it is incredibly hard when you're talking about an interracial relationship to be in a pro-black mindset. Um,
But I
I
was
mean,
saying,
at the end of the day, you have to have
that's like
you would have to
saying
have
that's
a
like saying
parent.
jumping to the
Hmm?
moon is really hard. Like certain things is so hard it's impossible. Like that's
I,
like saying, swimming across the Pacific Ocean is hard. Like, yeah, it's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like how how can we justify this? Like we're scraping the bottom of the barrel now. Like, we're looking to find a way to justify it. And I think the effort in itself is running from the truth. And that question makes me question why we're working so hard, you know?
well, again, you're talking about a situation where a YT parent would have to encourage, not just be okay with, but encourage their uh their black child to embrace and learn about blackness.
Wait, so you
They
talking about
can't
the
do
second
that.
question? I'm
They
still on
can't
the
do
first
that if
question.
they're
No,
not
I'm
black.
on the first question. I'm still on the first question.
Okay, so on the first question, um, I'm talking about the individuals in the relationship, not the
Okay.
child. I'm talking about, before there's even a child, how can
Mhm.
you liberate your people and marry their oppressor or be in a relationship with their oppressor? Like, how does that play out? Because pro-blackness, and I've given this definition before on here, pro-blackness is prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building within the black community. So if your priority is your community above all other interests, building within the black community, how do you not compromise yourself by being with someone outside of your community? Because now when pro-blackness gets in the way of those anti-black cousins of hers, those anti-black aunties, grandmas, and other people, it's going to create issues to where you have to now think, well, I want to, kick all of the white people out of South Africa, but I'm married to one and I don't want to kick her out. So can I bring her to the cookout, guys? Like now you have to at some point compromise yourself. Pro-blackness is not compromising.
Right. I see what you're getting at there. I see
Yeah.
what you're getting at there.
You can't
Yeah.
be in an interracial relationship and be pro-black. There's no way around that.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can be black and happy. You can be black and quote unquote anti-racist. Shoot, we prefer y'all to be anti-racist. If you in their community, then go ahead and be a little version of Thomas Jefferson and try to preach to some of them and see if it changed their heart. You know what I'm saying? Then go ahead. You want to make that your life, go right on ahead. But that's not the same thing as building within our community so that we have education and knowledge of ourselves and that we have a retention of our African identity and retention of our culture, our customs, and reacclimating back into the continent, reconnecting with our people across the water, and creating an economic base in our own community. That don't got nothing to do with them. And that's actually going to be a competing system to the system that they've already created, which is why they burned down Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's the like because when we get together and build by ourselves, they look at that as competition. So how are you going to play on both sides of the basketball team, on both sides of the basketball game? You going to play for the Lakers and you going to play for the Detroit? I don't know. I don't watch basketball no more. But how you going to play both sides of the team? Like that don't make no sense.
Yeah, sure. I get what you're saying. I mean, I'm not a big repatriation guy, but I definitely get what you're saying.
And why are you? What do you mean by? You mean going back to continent of Africa?
Yeah, right.
Why are you not a big that?
So repatriation and Black is Beautiful and I have had multiple conversations about this before. Repatriation just doesn't work for all peoples, right? So,
Why not?
well,
Do you think it means physically going back to Africa?
well, I mean, if that's what you're talking, that's what repatriation is.
No, it's not.
That is exactly what repatriation
No, it's
means.
not. You can have a passport. You can do things that will bring you closer to the customs and culture that was stolen from you without ever actually having to go back to Africa. You can reconnect with your African roots without actually going to Africa. And most of us should go back to Africa and connect with brothers and sisters there. But we understand not everyone can. We understand grandma's 90 years old. You're not about to put her on a plane and take her somewhere she's never been before and say, live here now. We understand that. We're not obtuse. But at the end of the day, even if 50% of us that are able-bodied could go and actually view Africa, connect with some of the local people there, and create economy, that would be something that would benefit us for generations.
Yeah, I'm not against that. I'm not against that at all.
Okay, all right. So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
that's
not
fine.
talking about everybody got to get on a plane. I'm saying, and that's even ignorant. But I'm saying if 5% of us got on a plane, then 95% of us that stayed behind would feel the effects.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, I don't really see myself as really disagreeing with much of what you said. I mean, no, being in an interracial relationship is not a pro-Black behavior. I would never say that.
Okay.
And then so I guess we'll move on to the second question: is transracial adoption ethical? At the end of the day, you are not like when you adopt somebody else's child from another culture, right? You are ill-equipped, and I guess I'll say it's very hard again, right? You are ill-equipped to raise that child in their own culture, right? And so you start integrating them into YT-ness, basically, and that doesn't work.
I think that when it comes to Black people, they will be able, they can adopt other races and keep them in contact with their culture. I just feel like, I think that that could happen because I've seen it, because those are the type of people we are.
I feel like that's more possible for Black people in the situation we find ourselves in right now, right? Because we are not the dominant people. You get what I'm saying?
Can I
Like,
jump in real quick on that?
yeah, go ahead.
So I think a lot of times when we have these discussions, the question is saying transracial adoption, right?
Hmm.
It's not asking about culture. If we were just talking about culture, that'd be a completely different conversation. But when we are talking about a power dynamic that has been in
Right.
place for hundreds of years, right? Where one group of people benefits off the oppression of other groups of people, that's problematic. So it's not just about culture. We're talking about race, a transracial adoption. So I guess I would say just Speak more to that aspect of it.
Right. And I was about to. So when you get into the power dynamics, and I was just saying that we're not a dominant group. So yes, we can adopt YT kids, right? And them still have generally benefiting from the YT privilege that they have, right? By natural uh oh man, I'm looking for a word. Basically by the fact that they are YT, right? And of course they're also, YT people are still currently in the majority in America anyway. Which means they're going to have plenty of opportunity to interact as a YT person in the world, right? Versus when you talk about a YT person adopting a black child, that child is always going to have to be black, even though their parents may not. And I've seen this happen where their parents try and give them that kind of like we're all equals and everybody is togetherness type of idea, and it ends up failing them.
I would say, to be honest, we have far too many black children in the adoption system for us to start even discussing adopting children of other races.
Yep, but you know what? They make it harder for us to adopt as a whole, anyways, when it comes to being black and adopting. But if you have that white privilege, you're able to adopt kids, especially black kids, easier than any other race,
Mm.
which is weird.
Yeah, that seems to be. I mean, it was definitely set up that way for that purpose, right? Um, the things that get accounted for when you're talking about the adoption process uh, is heavily dependent upon socioeconomic standing, right? And when we're at a disadvantage, like, and we were placed at a disadvantage intentionally, you're going to see where we have more difficulty adopting even our own kids than YT people do.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let me go to the next guest. Thank you, Clovis. Shaka, what's going on, brother?
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? What's going on? Peace, family. You know, it's the 4th of the white T man's life. You know what I'm saying?
It's happy day
4th of the
off
right.
for me. Happy day off.
All right. But for those who knew, my name is Shaka Sen Kofu. My age is 21. My race is black. Wouldn't want to be nothing else. My pronouns are he, him. Black laws and black liberation for all black people. Free the land, baby.
Yes, sir.
Are interracial relationships harmful to the black community? Yes, undoubtedly. You know what I'm saying? I said this before. It don't even have to be just a romantic relationship. It could be any type of relationship. It still never benefits the black community. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even just here in America. That's all over the world. You know what I'm saying? It could be you know what I'm saying? It could be a capitalist country, even though we victims of YT capitalism. You know what I'm saying? You'll find the YT capitalists on top. You'll find the black capitalists on the bottom. It could be a Christian country. You'll find the YT Christians on top, the black Christians on bottom. A Muslim country, white Muslims on top, black Muslims on bottom. You know what I'm saying? Socialist country, the YT on top, black on the bottom. You know the YT can't be social, but yeah, it don't matter how we interact with them, you know what I'm saying? It never benefits our community, you know what I'm saying? And you always get the low class working, YTs, you know what I'm saying? They always try to be like, it's a class system. Well, all right, well, you'll find that the YT is the upper class and the black is the lower class, you know what I'm saying? So don't feed into it's a class system, because even though they broke in what we call trailer park trash, You know what I'm saying? They still more valued than you simply because they are a white T man. You know what I'm saying? Is transracial adoption ethical? Hell nah. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. Wait, hell nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you seen what just happened to the former football offensive lineman Michael Orr. You know what I'm saying? He was raised by white T parents, and they was leeching off of him. You know what I'm saying? They leached off him. People who raised them leeching. You know, and you see that example that what you put in there right there. You know what I'm saying? Our baby shouldn't be getting raised by these blue-eyed beasts. You know what I'm saying? They can't even raise their own baby, so you know they can't raise ours. You know what I'm saying? They can't even raise their own babies. They babies wicked. So you know they can't teach you somebody who can be righteous to be righteous themselves. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to handle your health. You know what I'm saying? Can't explain to you, can't relate to you on any problems. You know what I'm saying? They got it good. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got to worry about being pew-pew down in the street 40 sometimes, 20 sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got to worry about being strange fruity. You know what I'm saying? But they'll try to sit right there and tell our babies, you know what I'm saying, we're equal. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're black, honey. You can make it here in America. Lying to our babies' face, giving them a false sense of the American dream. Then when our babies go out there in the world, they find out it's an American nightmare. You know what I'm saying? So it's not ethical. They just need to stay away from us as many as possible as we can. You know what I'm saying? Like you said earlier, it harms me how much of our babies is up for adoption. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just harms me, especially when these people have the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to get them and do whatever to them. You know what I'm saying? And with this just one case. Ain't no telling what else goes on, what America doesn't report about, what the white T man doesn't report about. You know what I'm saying? So we just stay away from them. You know what I'm saying? History has proven that they can't do nothing right. So yeah, I land my plane.
Absolutely. That's facts, brother. Thank you for that. That's a good contribution to the conversation, because you know that transracial adoption is an extension of slavery. It's an institutional form of slavery, and they don't have the understanding to even raise their own children properly. But then they're gonna try to raise our children, and that don't make no sense. We do have a lot of black children in the adoption system, and I think if we're going to adopt anyone, black people need to focus on us, and white tea people need to leave our children the hell alone. Black Swan, what's going on? Give us your age, race, and pronoun.
Yes, 34. Pronouns are she, her, and I am black.
All right, talk to us, sister.
Are interracial relationships harmful to the black community? Yes, they are. It's never going to be a situation where, that other person who is not black can take in enough education to, try to mitigate harm. It doesn't matter, right? Because these systems of oppression still exist. We are constantly fighting indoctrination, right? And I don't think that we've ever seen, since the construct of race began, right? I don't think that we've ever seen another group of people outside of black people that has ever prioritized us, that has ever understood us, that has ever fully accepted us, right? Even though other groups may not be on top, they still punch down on us, and white supremacy will weaponize them against us, right? And so that's like the social aspect of it, but those dynamics directly impact the way that we interact with each other, right? So in the household, you're going to have a situation to where, I'm going to speak from a factual place, because I think it was Clovis, and most people tend to say, well, if they educate themselves, right, then it'll be okay. But do they educate themselves? Let's talk about reality. They don't educate themselves, right? We could talk about the fact that before interracial marriage was legalized in 1967, there were black biracial babies being born, right? But it was illegal. So how do you think those babies were being treated, right? Or even all the way back to chattel slavery, because technically the enslaver was not allowed to procreate with their enslaved person, right? But it was happening. So now during that time frame, YT, because we were seen as animals, YT women, they would, and this is trigger warning, I'll just give you one example of how they would, discard. They would boil the baby because they didn't like the color of the baby's skin, right? And we know that there is a direct correlation, right, from so many things that we dealt with during chattel slavery to now. 1967, okay? Not too far, not too long ago. And there has been no course correction for YT people, in terms of the way that they interact with black people and how they treat black people. I would say it's gotten even worse, right? So when we think about, because we hear stories all the time of, black biracial people talking about the treatment that they had from the YT parent or the non-black parent, right? And same thing with the partner, the black partner, those who, have had experience in interracial relationships, they will talk about the fact that they just can never truly connect with that person. And then when you have a conversation with someone who is black that is for their relationship, if you pay attention to the way that they talk, they're in a place of cognitive dissonance. They will quite literally deny reality because they need to be okay. They need to feel comfortable in their relationship. And that's the only way that they can do it. They won't talk from a realistic place, right? Because then they'd have to admit the truth. So I think it's important that we really understand that. A lot of people kind of take it for granted, or, they think, oh, well, if they educate themselves enough, it'll work out. No, that's not reality. That is not reality. Is transracial adoption ethical? Absolutely not. Again, same reason. There has never been a time as to when YT people or another group of people has ever taken into consideration, just what it means to be black, right? We're demonized, we're put down, and so in every aspect of life, and this is global, right? So I think realistically, we know that if a black child, right, who as black parents, we know we have to go out of our way, to raise our children and keep them safe. Other people don't experience that, so they don't know what it's like, right? I had a conversation with a YT woman who was raising 4 black biracial children, and this goes to the same thing with the transracial adoption topic as well, right? She was talking about the fact that she did understand that it's important for her to know how to do her child's hair and, some other basic things. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you could have a black biracial child whose hair is not that, coily. So I don't even know why we're talking about hair, right? Let's talk about the fact that you missed an opportunity already to advocate for your children and make sure that they're getting the proper medical care that they need. You've never experienced what it's like to have a negligent doctor, right? For me personally, my youngest son had a skin condition like irritation when he was a baby. And it took me 4 different doctors to go to because the way that they're trained, trained to see things on white skin or lighter skin. He's very dark skinned, right? And I was like, that's something that you have to think about. This is not just about doing hair. We're talking about you being able to protect your children and keep them safe, right? It's deeper than that. So it's about the medical, right? You got to be the biggest advocate for your black biracial child when you go to the doctor's office. When you are sending your children to school, you have to be involved in every step of their educational journey, because we understand what happens to young black children in the classroom. The study that they did where there was a group of children sitting inside the classroom doing an activity. All the teachers were outside of the classroom and they were watching the children through monitors. Now those monitors were tracking the eye movements of the children, or the eye movements of the teachers, right? When they collected all the data at the end of that study, every single teacher was fixated on the young black boys in the classroom. They had no behavioral issues. They did not step out of line. They didn't do anything wrong, doing the same exact thing as their peers, right? So like YT people or anybody else that's not black, they don't experience these things, and they're not aware of these things either. So realistically, we know that child is going to grow up with a level of anti-blackness with them. They're going to grow up with a level of resentment maybe down the road. And I really don't think I've ever met a person that is in an interracial relationship with a black person that can even answer these questions. Like I'll ask them, hey, do you know what the school to prison pipeline is? No, I don't know what that is. Do you know what redlining is? Do you know what medical racism is? They don't know these things, right? So we got to talk about this from a realistic place. They don't have any incentive to ever really see things happening outside of themselves. In fact, they're incentivized to not do that. And they will. YT women and YT men and people that are not black, they will always prioritize their own emotional comfort over seeing the humanity in their partner or their children. And it's a problem. It's with these systems still being in place that they benefit from, it's never going to be a situation where it's healthy or ethical or not harmful, if that makes sense. So that's all I got for now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Black Swan. Absolutely, that's facts. I don't gotta teach Black Swan; she teaching. You know what I'm saying? So y'all follow Black Swan. She be on these lives giving them hell every day. She be giving them white folks hell every day. But nah, thank you for contributing.
Wait,
What's up, Lala? Talk to us.
yeah, cause Swan said 1964 was
1967, I think.
1967.
Yep.
Okay, so here in Alabama, year 2000. Year 2000. So that can tell you that, hey, we don't need to be messing with them. That was only 24 years ago.
Wow, is that true? That's crazy. They
Yeah, Google it. Google it. Interracial relationships was made legal in the year 2000. I think it was like September or something. I might be wrong about the month,
Wow.
but the year I'm absolutely correct.
That's wild. Wow. Well, they gonna honk, ain't they? Let's go to the next guest. Balance scale. Give us your age, your race, and your pronouns, please.
Oh, my age is 60. My race is black. Male. Pronoun is male, he. You got an interesting discussion. As a 60-year-old man, I hear what you young folks are saying. You know, I hear you loud and clearly. But, you know, we have to really take some deep analysis, you know, quantum analysis, and really go deeper than the surface emotional, it seems like emotional tirades that we go through on these apps and specifically TikTok. You know, we have, as Black people in America, we have a lot of issues that we have to deal with. And as far as interracial relationships being harmless to the Black community, she mentioned 1967, right? I remember that case. That's like 53 years ago, if I'm correct, if my math is correct. It was actually a white man and a Black woman who petitioned and made it federally legal for interracial marriages to be legal.
Sir,
Also,
do you know how old she was when they met?
I was about to say that. Go ahead.
Sir?
I didn't interrupt anyone when they spoke. I don't remember interrupting anyone when they spoke. So I like to maintain my train of thought. I don't want to get into a side discussion or a debate about who this person was and where they were from and
Sure.
the insignificant things. So
What?
my
Yeah,
point.
he's misogynistic too. Ooh.
Just let him go. Black is beautiful. Let him go.
I mean, if you guys want to have an echo chamber where everyone agrees and everyone have the same emotional, you know, unloads on how they feel about the system and people and
I haven't
I
heard
mean,
one person speak out of
that's
emotion yet. So I
yeah,
don't know why you're saying that.
but because they came off the mic.
You sending them to Lala, Black is beautiful. You be sending my panelists to pause.
You know, so if I can get back to what I was trying to say, you know,
I
be
know, but
nice.
I'm not going to sit here and let you categorize Black women or characterize Black women that are speaking from a place of knowledge as emotional, because
Okay,
they're
that's
speaking
fine.
from knowledge. Black Swan can give us books. Everyone here reads a lot of books from people from your generation. So
Right.
I don't know how that
Well,
makes them emotional.
I'm here for my generation, to speak for my generation.
Well, we
So
also have a Discord full of 900 Pan Africans worldwide and elders from your generation and older than you that teach us as well. So
I
we have
really don't
people.
even want to go into the Pan African conversation.
I really don't want you to either. You can have a nice day,
Yeah.
sir. All right, thank you for the Panther pause. Um, it's just a shame when the old ones, you know what I'm saying? When the older generation come in, you really want that wisdom. You know what I'm saying? You want those gems that happened before we was born. Like you want to hear something, but and they be so compromised. It'd be like, man,
Some of them act like they didn't live through the ugliest part of it.
right? Like man, come on now. Peace, Omi. What's going on, brother? Give us your age, race, and pronouns.
Hey, I am 24. My name's Omi Yomi, and my race, I'm black and indigenous, but I'm black first, and my pronouns are they them.
All right, talk to us.
But yeah, I had saw like some of the comments that the previous person up here was saying before he was on the panel, so I was like, oh, I had a feeling where this was gonna go. But I guess like kind of to speak, because he had like some weird tone about like Pan-Africanism, and then you were kind of discussing earlier about like going with I think Clovis about like going back and like why it's probably best for everybody to. But I guess just speaking to that first, and then I wanted to address the like transracial adoption thing to keep it on topic. I think a lot of people have inherent anti-blackness, of course, and then like on top of that they have xenophobia towards continental Africans. So it makes sense why people don't vibe with the Pan-African movement, given that you got to unpack both of those, and even people who resonate with the Pan-African movement still got to unpack those every day. So because we've all been indoctrinated or forced into a system of and worldview, and we have to like deconstruct that all the time. So I think that's a natural thing, but then they'll also then use that logic to say that we should settle for the less here in the least in the United States, and that we should just eat whatever filth that they serve us on a silver platter is kind of insane to me. And then the idea that and then like the idea that I like when you connected transracial adoption to slavery, because it absolutely is. I mean it's there's so many versions of slavery that exist today, and like kind of legacies of that, and transracial adoption's a great example, because first like people take away like reproductive rights for women, like regardless of what your religious or political beliefs are. Specifically when it comes to black women, white people didn't want black women to have their own bodily autonomy, because they were seen as property, and their babies were seen as property and flows of income. So when you take the right away from a black woman to say whether or not she wants to keep a child, and then you force her to have that child, and then that child is then put into a system, it's just the breeding farms 2.0. Like I don't know why that isn't really clear to people. Like it's pretty deductive, I think. And then when when Unc wanted to come up here and then call a panel full of intelligent, well-educated women emotional for calling it what it is, like I just think that's delusional. Like and so I guess that's just what I wanted to say, but I'll mute up for now.
That's real, brother. And yeah, That was the most ridiculous part for me because I know Swan and Black is Beautiful. Black is Beautiful came on my panel talking about the books that she's reading. Black Swan, I know, is well educated and versed in what she's talking about. So it's like these ain't strangers. He don't he I guess had no way to read the room, but this ain't them other TikTok panels y'all be on where people just up here venting emotions. We actually spreading information. What's going on, brother Timothy? Speaking of information.
Hey, what's going on, family? How's it going?
Peace. I'm well, man. Go ahead, talk to
Oh yeah, no, I'm just tapping in. So unfortunately, I didn't get to see the full circus, but
me. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I'll start off with the questions. Are interracial relationships harmful to the Black community? Yes, they absolutely are. Very long, deep-seated history that shows very clearly that they have been used as a tactic to create divide as well as further destruction within Black spaces, and they've been doing this for thousands of years. Let's see, is transracial adoption ethical? Nope. No, it's not. There's always going to be some form of power structure that exists within white supremacist constructs. So when you have parents that benefit directly from the detriment of that Black child's trauma, then there's really no way to ethically be able to even raise that child, let alone teach that child how to operate in the world. And also at the same time, I used to be friends with a brother that I used to work with in finance, and just seeing the amount of clear and blatant anti-Blackness, self-hatred, and the constant pursuit of embracing everything outside of his Africanity. I mean, the brother, like, well-to-do, got enough money to travel the world, yet the one place that he has consistently avoided has been Africa. And yeah, it was a very clear thing. And I'm like, damn, like, he a whole financial advisor out here, not even doing the most for his people. But yep, and that comes directly from those white tea parents that were teaching them all those concepts of everybody else except your own. But
Well, yeah. I mean, you see it a lot. A lot of us rather travel to Europe than to travel to the continent. You know what I'm saying? Or, travel anywhere else. It's interesting. I've seen brothers and sisters in India, Thailand. Y'all go anywhere else but to the place you were taken from. It's very telling. Yeah, a lot of brothers and sisters talking about how racist France is, how racist Italy is, and the food don't got no salt. I'm not even gonna go find out. You don't gotta tell me nothing.
bro, I've been to France. Trust me, the food ain't got no salt. But
I ain't even trying to find out. I'll take your word for it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Like, I want to go. I want to go have some jollof with my Ghanaian brothers and sisters. My Akan family. I want to go have some jollof. I heard Ghana
The
got the best
Ghanaian
jollof.
Jollof.
You say you eating jollof?
Oh yeah, my mama makes the best jollof. So, but it's always a joke that whose jolloff's better, the Ghanaian jollof or the Niger jollof.
I know that's why I said Ghana's the best.
Yeah.
I'm playing. I know y'all Nigerians.
But I mean, I'd tread carefully because I definitely do know some brothers and sisters from Nigeria that those are fighting words for. So
Right? Yeah. I mean, some people be DMing me
I would be
this,
lying if I said some Ghanaian jollof wasn't good, but I'm like, don't tell my mama that. I'm like,
and you're not the first Nigerian to tell me that. So I don't know, man. Ghana might got some pressure, man. I don't know. I don't know. Ghana might have some pressure. Shout out to the Ghanaian brothers and sisters if y'all in here. Y'all might have some good rice. Gotta find out. I've been eating that American jollof, that Louisiana dirty rice. You know what I'm saying? That's our version of jollof.
that's good too. I like dirty rice and like I just tried like Gola red rice. Red rice tastes more like jollof. I like the red rice a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, my family being originally from New Orleans, yeah, I can't say I don't love anything more than New Orleans food. When it comes
Mm-hmm.
down to dirty rice, from jambalaya, anything to do with New Orleans seafood, I'm in love with it. 100%. I don't feel like there's anything better anywhere else in the world, particularly, especially not in no damn Europe.
All right, hold on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially not Europe. But we ain't gonna sleep on Trinidad. We ain't gonna act like shrimp roti don't exist. Y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta understand. There's a thing in Trinidad called roti, and that is fire. It's like a black burrito. It's like a black burrito, but instead of using like the burrito bread, like that, what do they call that? Tortilla. Like, nah, roti got some special kind of bread, bruh. Roti's on that might be the perfect food for me. I don't know. Shrimp roti is out there, y'all. Go and find you some roti. I'm telling you. Nah.
Oh, you're talking about like the tortilla style thing.
It's kind of, yeah, but it's
It's,
kind of
it's
like a whole meal wrapped in a tortilla style thing, but it's not actually a tortilla. It's got like I don't know what that is in the middle. It's like when you rip the bread apart, it's got like little pieces of grain in the bread. Like it's different than
yeah,
tortilla, which is just like just corn or whatever. I
yeah,
don't know. Yeah, but oh no, it's flour. My bad. It's just flour. It's just regular. Oh, it's chickpeas. She says ground chickpeas
yeah.
in the bread. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, when I think of roti, I think of the actual bread itself. Like that's always the way it was explained to me.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think in India they got the same thing, roti, but it's it's Indian roti. I tried it one time thinking I was about to have something that slapped. I'm telling you now, it was not the same thing. I was disappointed. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's Indian roti. They got something else going on.
Yeah,
It was called. Is that not none?
Oh no, naan is different.
naan and roti are different. Roti is much more flat than naan. Naan is has much more of a puffy texture to it.
Hmm. Yeah. Now Trinidadians can cook, man. Big up the Trinidadians. Trinidad and Tobago. Y'all, we gotta make some room up here so somebody else can come up.
I'll
Anybody?
drop. Thank you.
I'll
I just
drop.
I'll
wanted to
drop.
come.
I'll drop.
All right.
I got stuff to do.
All right.
Me too.
Appreciate you.
I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I haven't seen
Yes,
y'all in a
sir.
long time, so
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can
Appreciate you,
y'all
brother.
stop talking about food? Cause I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. I'm waiting for my wife to get back with some food, man. Well, anyway, y'all keep tapping like. Let's get to 50K. Let's get to 50K. We've been talking about ethics a lot in these discussions. We've been talking about a few different things and running into the common fallacies of racism, uh, the legalistic fallacy, the ahistorical fallacy, the fixed fallacy, the tokenism fallacy, different fallacies of racism, logical fallacies. I'm making a video series right now on all of them. I've outlined 10 different common fallacies of racism used to justify exploiting black people. And I think it might be useful for y'all. I'm going to put some books in it too. Anybody that wants to come up, feel free to come on up. Hey, man, I'm blocking anybody say happy 4th in my comments. You better stop that. You done lost your damn mind. You think we talking about happy 4th in here. We don't do 4th of July.
Bro. Yeah, I live in a predominantly black community, and from time to time I hear them fireworks. These are the most anti-black fireworks I've ever heard in my life, bro. I'm just like, yo, like I know what percentage is out here to just still hear people popping them off.
They don't want you to know who the first person to die for their freedom was.
Unalive.
Unalive. My apologies. Unalive.
Christmas addicts.
Yep. Thank you. Someone knows his name. Thank you.
Yeah.
I keep telling people, happy day off. Happy day off. That's it. And
Happy
just kind
15
of
days after Juneteenth, y'all. Happy 15 days after Juneteenth.
right. That too.
Absolutely. Well, I did have a different prompt as well. We've been going over it. Maybe y'all give me some answers on this one. Let me see. Hold on, bring it back up. Oh, nope, that's not it. There we go. Oh no, that's the same one we had. Hold on, y'all. Let me find this right quick. Um, I was gonna bring up Palestine, but I'm gonna chill on that. I seen a live one time, and it was a sister's live, and she was talking about Palestine. Had people up in there speaking Arabic, can't understand a word that they saying, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Is this a space for us? I'm confused. But we definitely want to shine some light on Goma Upendo. Goma, GOMA underscore UPENDO. It's a place where you could donate to brothers and sisters in the Congo. I made a video about it, and I want to put it on our B1 Initiative website as well. So I'll do that later on today. But we want to just create some more streams of revenue to those brothers and sisters out there suffering in the Congo. Were you gonna say something, Black is Beautiful?
Yes, I was. I was gonna tell y'all my next topic is about white women tears and how
Okay.
dangerous they are.
I'm about to
Yep.
say the most dangerous weapon the system ever made.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we definitely do need to highlight Sudan as well. If anyone has any resources, reputable resources, I'm gonna do some research as well. 2.5 million people in the Sudan have 3 months to live or less now. They were at 2 months to live. So by the end of this year, oh, here go um, the Congolese resource. Y'all check that out. Screenshot it real quick so you have it. Send $1, send five. You know what I'm saying? Send something. I'll just be sending little tidbits here and there. It goes a long way for them brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? So
Actually, brother, I have a another screenshot that I put up for the background. It's got more details behind it for everybody that's pretty much trying to put more focus on the Congo. I'm gonna put that up in my background for everybody real quick.
all right. Yeah, focus Congo, and we need something for Sudan. I know that that situation is so active. I seen a sister just bawling her eyes out in a video talking about how they starving out there. Like the West is having a proxy war right now with them. There's a lot going on in East Africa too, in Kenya. We know that they about to have a protest in Nigeria, I believe on the 21st and the 23rd of this month. 21st to the 23rd, actually. So um, you know, we want to focus our energy on watching what's going on in Nigeria. We know that NSARS and all that other stuff that was going on got them a little scared to protest. So, they need to protest though, because Tinubu is a turtle. They keep saying he looked like a turtle. He got time to change the national anthem of Nigeria to the white man's national anthem, but he don't got time to liberate his people. He got time to threaten military action against Niger when they throw the colonizer off their back, but he don't got time to rid Nigeria of corruption. These leaders are not our leaders. These are puppets that the West has put in place. Even when you think about the Congo, think about Patrice Lumumba and how they installed a puppet there in the Congo. Why would the West want a stable government in the Congo, a place that they need to steal resources from? Because if they have a government there, then now the West gonna have to pay taxes. The price of the phone in your hand is gonna skyrocket if they gotta pay taxes to move expensive minerals out of the country. But they can't have those low prices. 199. you can get the new iPhone, like that's gonna go away. So if you do buy new technology, buy it used. That's what we do over at B1 Initiative. Shout out to Sister Stella. Instead of me buying a new laptop, not that I could afford one right now anyway, but Sister Stella sent me a laptop to continue to do my work for Sankofapedia. And that's kind of how you want to look at technology now. You want to either buy it used, use what you can to get done what you need done. We don't want to go and buy new products and keep the market going, the slave trade of our little children in our community. It's a shame. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we've been talking about the ethics of interracial marriage. Is it ethical? And this conversation has been interesting. Last night kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, which is why I didn't start off with it today, because we had a man come up here yesterday, and when we talked about how relationships can be unethical, we brought up the relationship between an adult and a child is unethical, and why that would be unethical. And he pretty much said because
The pedo?
yeah, he pretty much
Are you talking about the pedo?
yes, black is beautiful. Yes, he said that it was unethical because the law makes says it's illegal, and so that's the only thing stopping him from being in a relationship with children is if the law says it's illegal. And I was just like, that's kind of sick that he came up on this panel and said that. You don't know what kind of things he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the eye of the law. You know what I'm
There
saying?
are really people out here who believe that legal means good and illegal means bad. Like that's just that simple. All
Yeah.
legal and illegal, and I just kind of want to put this in here. All illegal and illegal actually means is what people feel like the government should do some kind of violence against you for. That's all legal and illegal means.
Mm-hmm. And this person, it was just like we asked again, like we tried to make sure he was saying what we thought he was saying, and he just kept doubling down. Like the reason it's wrong is because it's illegal. And I'm like, you know, ain't nothing we could talk about with this man. He should be he probably is on a watch list. It tells you the type of sick individuals you see on the internet. Uh
Brother, I got a screenshot up on my thing right now if you want to show people.
oh, okay. Yeah, this the weirdo right here. What Michael? Yeah, that's him. Yo, makes me nauseous. Yeah, that's weird, man. That was weird. And the thing about it is, whenever we have this discussion, I ask that question, and because they know that I'm speaking to a power dynamic, and they know that there is a power dynamic in between black and white people, you will see them struggle to just truthfully answer whether or not there's a power dynamic between an adult and a child in a relationship. Like white people are so gung ho on I don't even know if that's a proper term to use, but anyway, they're trying so hard to defend white supremacy and be obtuse that when I ask them, is it wrong for an adult to be with a child, they get in between and try to find a way to twist the question around, and it's like that's a yes or no question. Let's be honest. That should be a quick yes. That is unethical.
I
Like
would just hope, I would really just hope, though, brother, that what you're doing when you're making that argument, right, is that you're not infantilizing our own people. I'm not saying you are, but I've heard people do that before too, make a similar argument and then go off into infantilizing our own people.
Are
And
we are we not seen as infants in the eyes of white supremacy?
I don't think we should be seen as infants in our own eyes, though. We do have agent
I'm
like
not talking about our own eyes. If I was talking about our own eyes, then I wouldn't even be talking in front of white folks to begin with. I understand that there's a bunny down here looking for a black man watching, but we're talking about in the context of racism, white supremacy, and that's you're right to bring up that context is important. Cows is the word, COWX, cows. When we have discussions about race, we use cows. It's an acronym for the context of white supremacy. And when we talk within the context of white supremacy and talk about a power dynamic, black men are not men. Black women are not women. They don't treat us like men. They don't treat us like women. How many years ago has it been since 1776? And the white man wrote down that all men were created equal and our grandfathers were still in chains. Was we men? Today, we still don't have the ability of men to guarantee protection of our women. We still don't have the ability of men to be able to guarantee provision is made for our family. We can't even guarantee that we will be able to provide for our family. We don't control or own any industry in America. So all we can do is rely on our oppressor in order to feed our families and not to lock us up for whatever law that they deem is acceptable. So we can't guarantee anything. So our manhood has been stripped from us the moment we landed on these shores. Same thing with black women. Do they treat black women as women when they don't believe their pain, but they believe every pain of a white woman crying tears? A white woman crying tears, she don't even got to be in pain. All she got to do is cry a little bit in the middle of public, and I guarantee even a black man will walk up to her. Everything all right, ma'am? Is everything okay? Do you need anything? You know what I'm saying? So even in their womanhood, even in their adulthood, black women are not seen as women. You know, I wouldn't say that I'm the one infantilizing us, but I would say that white supremacy has made sure not to allow us to be men and women. Instead, we should look at ourselves in the context of racism, white supremacy, as male and female prisoners of war. Male and female prisoners of war is a more accurate description of what we go through, because we do go through similar and different experiences based on our sex. However, to the white supremacists, you know, we lose all humanity, and that's how they treat us. So when I'm talking about interracial marriages, if there was no such thing as white supremacy, there'd be no such thing as interracial. We wouldn't need interracial. We wouldn't need race at all. You know, we'd just be people
well,
happy
that
and
was the
getting
thing
along.
is that that's the thing is that race was initially created to set up white supremacy. So, I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, if you didn't have white supremacy, you wouldn't have race because that was the purpose of it initially.
Hmm. Right. So when we say interracial marriages, a lot of people think we're talking about people that look one way and people that look another way. And we're not saying that. We're talking about if, as long as the construct of race exists, is it ethical for black people and white people to be in a marriage? Is it even ethical? Now, when race no longer exists, and I say, oh, look, that couple, they're interracial, and someone says, what's that mean? What do you mean? They're not running a race. Then we can now talk about, the descendants of Africans and the descendants of Europeans getting together. That's not something that would be considered interracial.
Right.
Right. And I think Martin Luther King's words get bastardized when we talk about stuff like this, right? I mean, in every other way that they've bastardized his words. But when you talk about interracial relationships, and he was talking about he believed in a day where such a thing would be possible. He wasn't talking about tomorrow.
Right. That's right. Yeah, we're not there yet. And until we're there, When we give our physical assets, our mental assets, and our spiritual assets to people that continue to oppress us, we reward injustice. So we're rewarding those that have not created an environment of justice for us with our physical, mental, and spiritual assets. And that's problematic. That is never going to be ethical. And it's not something that we chose. So it's never going to be something we can consent to. Because when you consent to something, that means you can say yes, but it also means you can say no. If the black community said no, we don't want interracial marriage right now, what the hell would we do to change Brown versus the Board of Education? What could we change? We don't have the power to be able to say no. So it's happening, and a lot of us have chose to embrace it. Okay. But what I'm saying is, if we wanted to say no, could we? Timothy. Oh, okay. Were you going to
You
say
know,
something?
oh yeah, no, I was gonna say that you know, even when I'm looking at like ancient history, I'm of the mindset that we need to ensure, and when I mean ensure, I mean that we need to be creating time capsule after time capsule after time capsule after time capsule over the next thousands and thousands of years. And we need to make it like a cultural tradition to pass down time capsule after time capsule to ensure that the next generation, even if our knowledge and information somehow gets lost again, even if our civilization rises and falls, that somebody somewhere is going to find that times capsule, and they're going to be able to have a means of somehow translating whatever we put inside there. And I definitely think that we need to still encourage generations, thousands of years down the line. And I don't think YT people are going to last that long, but just in case they do, I think that it's important that we tell future generations to not intermix with them at all. Because even when the constructs of racism and YT supremacy fail and fall away, like we can already see that just the act of being around them and being in proximity with them has led to our destruction multiple times, and even before the construct of race was invented.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I don't see any possible future of us being with them in any way, shape, or form, because we dominated for a time, and then the Greeks tried to attack, or at least Indo-Europeans, or the ancient ancestors of the Europeans tried to attack. We whooped the dog mess out of them. They stopped trying to attack. Instead, they came and requested, can I have access to the information? Can I please hang out with you? Can I please just get a little tidbit of what it is that you have? Oh, please. Oh, please, 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 please. And then they spent centuries saying, oh, please. And then finally we were like, all right, damn. Okay, here you go. Here's a little tidbit here. Here's a little tidbit there. And they took that information back to their civilizations, built up their civilizations, and then Rome came back, or the Greeks came back, and then conquered our space. Foreigners from other spaces came back, conquered our spaces, using the same forms of civilization that we taught them. And then Rome did the same thing. And then when Rome fell, you start seeing more and more African development. Africans eventually went into Spain, conquered Spain. And this is like thousands of years later, of course, obviously, but went into Spain, conquered that space, taught them how to get themselves out of the Dark Ages, taught them about schooling again, taught them about bathing rituals, taught them about rubbing alcohol, medicine, the whole shebang. And then you start seeing,
that was the Arabs.
No, that was
Yes, that was the Arabs. They brought it from the Umayyad Caliphate. It was by the Umayyad.
Wait, sir, can we? You gotta let Timothy finish though. You can't interrupt. You'll be introduced shortly.
Those are black Arabs, but go ahead, Timothy.
I appreciate it. Yeah, see, that's the thing. People don't want to pay attention to the history, and when you look at the actual depictions of the Moors, you can see very clearly that they were regularly depicted as black African people. The original Moors were black African people. Even when you go to certain parts of where the original Moors originally inhabited, you will see that the only reason why there's lighter skin complexions in certain areas is because those areas were the most invaded by the Arabs. But if you go up into spaces where they manage to retain their original skin complexions, you can see very clearly dark, melanated African men and women. Period. Those are the original Moors. Whatever you're trying to believe in, that's a YT supremacist construct. You're just trying to disassociate yourself with actual real history. Serves no purpose, has no value. It's not based on facts. So anyway, that's what the Africans did in Europe. They brought Europeans out of the Dark Ages. Had they never conquered that space, European nations would effectively be third world nations today, or they would be extinct. One of the two. But yeah, we need to stop intermixing with them, y'all. Even thousands of years from now, just stop. Cold turkey.
And yeah, we need some time to at least be able to consent. We didn't consent to be here. We didn't consent to speak English. We didn't consent to have an interracial marriage be legal. But yet, here we are saying it's not problematic because a few of us with Stockholm syndrome have decided they wanted to do it, and they're using that as a justification. If I lock someone up in my bathroom and then start to tell them that you know what, when I locked you up, I didn't know that you were so beautiful. I love you, and that person says, you know what, I love you too. You would say that person has Stockholm syndrome. You would say that relationship is unethical because this person didn't consent to being in your bathroom in the first place, and you saying that you love them is something that's obviously going to be a way for them to get up out of the situation that they're currently in and do something to your benefit, or do something to your benefit, meaning that they're not going to turn against you, and it's a psyop. But let's hear what Lucci has to tell us. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, Lucci.
You said race.
Don't say happy fourth in the comments, y'all. We don't celebrate the fourth. Warith.
All right. So, anyways, it's Lucci. I'm 29.
Wait, sorry, Lucci. Hold on real quick. Third man,
wow, okay.
Can y'all just hold on the pause? Because I think we could benefit from this interaction if it get, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Lucci. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just continue. All right. So the whole cleanliness, where are you guys getting this factor from?
The fact that you're
idea, Timothy, is that based in religion?
What is your race?
You still didn't
Well, I
answer.
mean, I would identify as mulatto, mestizo. I don't follow the white American standards of race.
So then, Lucci, you identify as a mixed breed dog or mule?
I identify as mixed. Yes, I am a mixed individual.
You identify as a mixed breed dog or
Does
mule?
Does me being mixed offend you in any kind of way?
Mulatto, literally in and of itself, translates to.
Do you?
It translates to
negative opinion about mixed race people.
It works. It translates.
Actually, is a mixed race black person, so I think it's interesting that you're trying to use that, Lucci.
Hilarious, actually.
It's actually hilarious.
You guys use the term black, which was created by white people. Correct?
I would never tolerate somebody calling me a freaking mulatto. That's calling me an animal.
You guys use the word black, which was created by white people, correct?
Mulatto wasn't.
So was mulatto.
So you guys use these white frameworks and white stances.
So wait, real quick. Hold on, Lucci, hold on. Are you going to answer the topics?
No, he just wants to come.
No, I actually wanted to come in here to talk about what Timothy was talking about regarding the cleanliness thing.
No,
okay, I do want to say,
sir.
Go ahead.
So real quick,
wait. Legs today.
Wait, Black is Beautiful. Hold on. So I do want to say this: the behavior that he's exhibiting right now is exactly why I say white, Latino, and Hispanic people are very problematic. Right? He's coming into the conversation, trying to make it seem as though he is mixed race. He is most definitely a colonizer. Right? I checked your page out, Lucci. Very problematic. You are very racist.
Conqueror.
You are. Can you not talk while I'm talking? Thanks.
My people conquered. We didn't just colonize.
And you, but hold on, wait, Timothy, hold on, please.
Okay.
But you're proving my point, right?
Yes.
This is the issue. You just tried to come into this conversation because you thought we didn't read. You thought we didn't know our history, right?
When did
and
I
you
say
tried
that?
to stop talking over me. And
When
you
did I
tried to
say
stop talking over me.
But when,
and you tried to shut
when
up,
did I
stop
say
talking
that?
over me.
Lucci,
Stop
do it
talking
one
over
more
me.
time. think
But
when
So
we're
wait,
black, one more
all
You
right,
don't
time,
just
even have to drop him,
Brian.
I need,
dog. You could tell us what you trying to tell us, Black
I need
Swan, but
receipts.
he gotta go.
yeah, he
I need
He's just up
receipts.
here to disrupt the
Right.
conversation. That's all he
Receipts.
want to do.
He need to go
Thanks.
take a bath.
But yeah, no, that is a prime example of why it's so problematic whenever people come into the conversation and they identify themselves and say that their race is Hispanic or Latino, because what they want to do is, right, is other themselves from taking any sort of accountability for white supremacy. They want to try to align themselves with you, right, and then insert their ignorant and very whitewashed opinions into a discussion, which is probably, I didn't think he would be that problematic though. That was bad. I'm sorry, because I did say hold the pause because I wanted to talk to him, but I do agree that was very problematic. But that's, you have to really pay attention to that. And there's this whole aspect of because I really hear people do it from Mexico and the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. What it is I think it's a sense of nationalism that has taken over the mentalities in those places, right? And the other part is that they he doesn't look like your typical YT European person, right? So he does have the ability to move in and out of groups, but which is very harmful, right? That's very problematic that somebody like that is going to move in and out of groups realistically. And we had the same conversation with somebody who was North African. He was YT. And, we had addressed him and explained, like, you're not indigenous. Your people are not indigenous to the country that you're living in. And he said, yes, I am. Yes, I am. So, no, you're not. What are we talking about? You're not. But with him, and people from Mexico that do this that maybe look as though they could pass as something different, they're not. It's kind of like I guess with the best analogy I could give is like when Italian people and Irish people came over here, they were obviously looked down upon, right? But they were able to assimilate into whiteness and they joined Team White and they benefit from white privilege today. And we see that a lot in Latino and Hispanic communities. And it's the part that bothers me about it is that when they center themselves like that and they other themselves, then the conversation is going to focus on their needs and their issues,
Right.
right? We're not being able, and we need to be able to talk about the black people that are living in Mexico. We need to be able to talk about the black people and their experiences living in Puerto Rico. We need to be able to talk about the black people that are living in the Dominican Republic and listen to their experiences as well, because they are 100% subjugated. You don't see them on television. You don't see them in professional spaces. You hear certain things that people say about them and that people do to them, right? And even the influence that like our ancestors had, right? When we were taken to these places from the continent, it's so deep rooted. Like there's so many things in Mexico that black people came up with, that black people created. But we can't get to that part of the conversation whenever they come into the conversation and they want to other themselves and lie about who they really are. And for me personally, being a black Puerto Rican woman, I'm always going to be on y'all heads. All of you white, Latino, and Hispanic people, I'm going to be on your head, always.
Yeah.
It's very problematic. I didn't think he would be that bad though, so I apologize for that.
No,
The
you
funniest part is how he got offended only because of the bathing part.
Yeah, I
Like that was
mean,
the main.
It
he
was kind
called
of like
himself.
letting. It was kind of like letting a dog off the leash, and then you had to pick the leash back up and try to pull him away from people. Like he literally could not. He didn't have no self control at all.
He
And
had the. Oh,
and
sorry. Go
y'all
ahead.
call us animalistic? Look at him. Can't even hold a conversation.
Well, see that
Oh
that's
yeah,
the
he
thing,
had the
y'all.
Spain
They
flag in
don't.
his bio.
They think that their whiteness is in and of itself justifiable enough for them to say and do whatever they want in whatever space they want. They think that because of their so-called superiority, that they're somehow more intelligent, that they're somehow more knowledgeable about these things, that somehow they have better access and better this and better that. They think that they genuinely internalize the fact that not even a fact. They genuinely internalize the concept of YT supremacy, thinking that they're superior because of their proximity to YTness, when in reality, biology actually shows us that in reality, because of their lacking in neuromelanin, they're not as intelligent as black people are, nor they could ever
Yeah.
get even remotely close to intelligent as black people are. And
He. Oh, sorry,
that's an
Tim.
inferiority complex, and he had that fully displayed for us to see. So
He had also had the Spain's flag in his bio, so They're responsible for all of this. I'm in Portugal, but so I have never personally been to Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, we're planning on going. My mother was born there. Tons of family there. My sisters have all gone, but when I was looking at their, I was looking into their education system, and this is wild. We talk about Florida wanting to put into school books that chattel slavery was helpful for black people because it taught them, skills, quote unquote. That's already in the Puerto Rican school system. They teach them that Spain came into that area and that territory and helped the people out, which is insane. Insane.
Insane. And
Yeah, I think it's important we go ahead and take a look at the fact this man straight up came in here and called himself a mulatto. Like mulatto, and I'm very familiar with that term.
I'm a
Like
mixed breed animal,
mulatto,
y'all. Y'all are the one with the problem. Like what?
yeah,
It's the
mulatto
reason why
comes for
Lotto
those of y'all
changed her
who
name.
aren't aware. It comes from the idea of a mule. That's the root word. Um, and for those who don't know what a mule is, mixed between a stallion and a donkey. And so the idea was that you had the peninsular stallion and the oh my gosh, the negro, the black slave mixing together, and therefore that created the mulatto, the mule, this sterile animal that was not, that didn't have the same rights as the peninsular, but also was somehow just a little bit better than the negro black.
mm, mm, mm.
So anybody who's classifying themselves as that, I'm sorry, like I just can't even entertain that.
Yeah.
And you know, like if you're biracial, you, I mean, for the most part, whatever society looks at you as, if society in the system sees you as black, buddy, you're black.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say when it comes to us being by ourselves, how they identify is important. We clearly know that Brother Timothy identifies himself as black. And then there's people that just don't want to be black. They'd rather identify themselves as non-white. And that's what that person, that person didn't see his uh, closeness or proximity to blackness or Africanness, but rather he saw and judged himself, his whole identity, based on the lack of proximity to whiteness, and just says, I'm this far away from whiteness. I'm in between.
Well, but that's what the construct of race was meant to do, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
meant to create those little in between things so that people could punch down on black people, because ultimately the construct of race is about the disparity between white people and black people.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are the two extremes of that spectrum. And so other people identifying themselves as somewhere in the middle of that spectrum is ultimately them wanting to uh, enforce current power dynamics.
Mm-hmm. Racism is a global system created by white people to control, dominate, and maintain all non-white people. So that being the case, he being a non-white person does experience at some level racism, but being ignorant to it, he's chosen to submit and cooperate in order to assimilate. Y'all, I'm about to restart the live. I'm gonna restart it real quick. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go eat some food, and I'll catch y'all in a few. I also gotta post a video. But yes, one love, peace and power to all the descendants of my ancient mother. Black laws for black liberation for black people everywhere. Free Congo, free Haiti, free Sudan, free Libya, free South Africa. Free all the brothers and sisters worldwide. And I'll catch y'all in a few moments. Give me like an hour. All right, one love.